Greetings everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lady Starfire, and today I want to talk to you about a little thing that I don't know if you think about on the front end. So let's just say if you've ever done a spell without thinking about all the possible consequences, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and leave me some comments, okay? And if you would share my videos, all right? I appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about consequences of spell work. Justice, for instance. I usually try to talk most people out of doing a justice spell, or at least I ask them, are you 100% in the right? So in the situation, before you're going to ask for justice, you need to ask yourself, am I 100% in the right? And be honest with yourself, because here's the thing about justice. Justice doesn't just look at whoever you're directing it at. It looks at the whole situation. So if you're involved in any kind of way in that wrongdoing, you're going to get that justice too. Okay? So when you get mad at somebody because they did X, Y, Z, and you're like, I'm going to invoke justice. I want justice on them. Did you play any part in the wrongdoing? If you did, do not do a spell for justice. Okay? Invoke your karma, whatever. Okay? Do not do justice. Because otherwise, like I said, you're going to get it too. All right? So I'm warning you. My favorite saying from my first book, you have been warned. Okay? So there's a lot of spells you got to really think about on this. Money spells. I know I've talked to you about this before, but it's worth saying. I say it over and over and over daily in my store. If you're going to do a spell for money, for one, make sure that you're specific. For two, be sure to state, and it harm none. Okay? The repercussions of not having that in that money spell, it can be horrible. Okay? You may say, well, I've done it before and nothing bad happened. Well, maybe you got lucky. Maybe you're not aware yet of the bad that happened. Okay? But you risk somebody dying, being the beneficiary in their will. You risk being in a bad car wreck and it's the other person's fault. You win a big lawsuit, but guess what? You're quadriplegic laid up, and so you're really not going to enjoy it much. Okay? So just do safe. And like I said, no, it's not a Wicca thing. And I get so angry when people go, but it harm none's a Wicca thing. No, it's not. It's being a good person. Okay? And it's doing things the right way, the safe way. Okay? Period. That's just it. Okay? Just be a good person. That's all that's asked. So anyway, the other important thing with money spells is you need to be specific. Okay? If you just randomly say, I just need money to come to me. Well, you might be like one of my customers that came in one day trying to figure out, she's been doing the spell. It just didn't really work on what she wanted it to work for. And I said, well, what did you ask? How did you ask for it? Oh, I just asked for money to come to me. Have you, any money showed up? Well, yeah, the next day I found a quarter laying on the ground. Guess what? Spell worked. Exactly the way you asked for it. You asked for money. Did you give it a dollar figure? Did you give it any kind of direction? No. You just said money. A quarter is money. So, you don't have to say, I need $500. Okay? You can. The safest thing to do with it is ask for what I need and a little bit more. So if you're needing $500, then, it'll go out there and, it will come back that and a little bit more. Okay. So, and I don't wait till the day before your rent's paid, think you're going to do a money spell and $500 is going to fall out of the sky. It's just probably not going to happen. Things done the right way take time. Okay. The way people that do black magic, they just ask for it at all costs. They don't care what happens. Okay. We don't do black magic. We do it the right way. So it can take a little longer for you to get it. Okay. Sometimes things can work out great and you can get it pretty quick, but don't bet on that. But the safest way to do it is ask for what you need and a little bit more. You know, if you're trying to get a raise, then specify that. But don't just say raise. Guess what? You might get a penny raise. You know, but you're hoping for $1 raise or 50-cent raise or whatever. Okay. But, you know, even then, make sure it's reasonable. You know, the best raise I can get. Okay. The best raise available for me. All right. So word things in the right way so you can get the maximum possible, but you're not asking for the impossible. Yeah. So, you know, be careful on your money spells. Be careful in justice. For the most part, don't even try justice. You know, once in a while, some people, they're justified in doing justice, but you got to be careful on that one. Please be careful. Court case. Now, if you're guilty, okay, you're guilty. It's kind of unreasonable to do a court case spell expecting to walk out scot-free. I mean, hey, anything's possible, but it's probably not going to happen. Unless they have no evidence, but, you know, that's a whole other thing. So what you do the court case spell for is the best possible outcome. So say it holds a 5-year sentence, you know, and the best possible outcome is 2 years. So it's 2 to 5, you know, so you ask for the best possible outcome. So the best possible outcome is that 2 years. You know, if you get something better, great. But, you know, you don't say, give me 2 years. You ask for the best possible outcome. Okay. So, you know, we have to be realistic in our magic. All right. Because, you know, we're not using entities that can maybe make things happen, but the price you're going to pay is going to be worse than whatever the price was to begin with. I promise you. Okay. So in anything you're doing, be realistic. All right. If it's love, don't do love spells on people. Okay. It's black magic going against their free will. Leave them alone. All right. It's just simple. If a couple is together and they want to do something to strengthen their love and they're doing it together, that's fine. Okay. Nothing wrong with that at all because both parties are agreeing. But if you're working a love spell because you have this thing for this person over there, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, have you talked to them? Have you told them that you're interested? Well, you know, no, I'm too afraid. You know, what if they say no? Well, guess what? Then you know, and you haven't wasted your time and money doing a love spell. Love spells, you got to be careful. You know, if you're going to do a love spell, then, you know, always put if it's right. You know, it's kind of like if it harm none, if it's the right thing for both of us. If it doesn't happen, leave it alone. Or go talk to the person. And if, you know, maybe they're with somebody, maybe they like redheads and you're brunette, whatever, you know, just simply ask. Say, hi, how are you? My name's such and such. You know, I kind of like to get to know you. And if they look at you and go, then walk away. All right. Don't go working spells on them and make them come to you because it's black magic and it's bad. Bad stuff is going to happen. Okay. We don't want to do that. So don't do that. You know, if you're going to do anything, you know, I mean, the best thing to do is do a soulmate spell, where you attract the right one, the one you're supposed to be with at this time of your life, and you both will be happy being together. Period. Why work a love spell on this one over here? Because one thing, if you got to work a spell on them to get them, you're going to have to continue to work spells for the rest of your life to keep them. Okay? And then neither of you are really going to end up happy. Okay? So love spells are just not a good thing. You know, do a love spell on yourself. Self-love, self-worth, all that kind of stuff. Okay? And then you'll be more attractive to those people. All right? So, but, you know, we don't just want anybody, and you shouldn't want just anybody. You want the right one. So be careful about those love spells. All right? So, banishing. Banishing is great. You know, Once again, if you're using it to banish a person, we don't want harm to come to them. We want them to have good things somewhere else. But if you're going to do banishing negativity, we're getting rid of all the negative in our life, be sure that you burn a white candle with it, because we're going to pull all this negative stuff out. You're leaving a hole. Negativity is always looking for a place to call home, okay? So let's not give them a home. We just got rid of all of that. So use the white to bring in all the good stuff and fill it up. All right? Real simple. Cleansing. I know I talked about this in my cleansing video, but it's still a spell type thing. Cleansing your house. You think you got nasty spirits in it. Do not open a door or a window. Spirits don't need one to come in. I ain't never had one going, can I come in? No. They can come right through the walls, okay? Are they attached to you or somebody else, and then they're there? So, don't ever open up doors or windows. You know, what you're giving them is an escape route. All right? It's like leaving the prison door open. You're giving them an escape route, which means you're not banishing them at all. You're not getting them off this plane and sending them back where they belong. You're giving them a way to escape. Now, they're going to go to your neighbors or somewhere else and wreak havoc. And eventually, they'll come back to your house, too, when all the cleansing has, you know, kind of dwindled away. But when they wreak havoc somewhere else, it's your karma, okay? You caused it because you let it loose. Don't do that, okay? Banish from this plane of existence, now and for eternity. Go back where you belong. Don't ever come back, period. Done, okay? Simple. Just use your head, all right? How about gambling and magic? It really doesn't go well together because the powers that be don't like greed. Most people that are gambling and trying to work magic for gambling are greedy. I want the whole Powerball, or I want the whole Mega Millions, or I want the jackpot on this, or whatever, okay? That's greedy. Most time you won't get anything, okay? As for your share, it's fine. Kind of like the, you know, what I need and a little bit more. You know, me, if I, on the rare occasions I ever play, I don't have to have the whole thing. Just give me a section of it. You know, I can fix my temple, you know, do some repairs, stuff around the house, hire somebody to get all those hedges and stuff trimmed, you know, and help people. You know, the more of it I have, the more people I can help. That's what I would want. That's what I would want to do with it. Okay? And that's what I would do with it if I had it. Don't be greedy. True story. A gentleman that came in my store, he's been buying my gambling oil for years. You know, he wins enough of what he wants to do. You know, he gives and he, you know, helps out. He had uncle, cousin, somebody in another state. He was telling them about my oil. Asked him to buy them a bottle and send it to him. He did. That's the biggest bottle I had. Shipped it off to him. A little bit, you know, not much time. A little bit of time went by. He calls him up, all excited. He won $15,000. He never paid for the bottle of oil. He didn't give him anything as a thank you for turning him on to something that helped him. Therefore, he was greedy. He had something break in his house that cost him more than that $15,000. It's just the way it works. If you get blessed with something, you are supposed to bless others, especially those that helped you get there. Now, it wasn't right because you also had to pay for your magic. He never even reimbursed him for the price of the bottle and the shipping. You know, he won $15,000 and he couldn't even do that. Hey, here's $100. Anything. But he did nothing. Okay? So gambling and magic is very tricky. Okay? Can it help? Sure it can. If done the right way. But you got to get rid of the greed. Okay? Too many people are greedy with it. And don't try to use gambling as the way to pay your bills. I mean, granted, maybe you can, use it because, hey, I just need some extra right now to get me through. But don't use it every month to pay your bills with. That means go get a job, okay? Maybe you got the best job you can get and, it's not quite enough money, okay? So are you living above your means? Do you need to make a change there, okay? So, do what you need to do, but make sure you're not being greedy, okay? Use the gambling stuff, for fun and that little extra here or there, all right? There's all types of spells. Many, many types of spells. Think things through before you do them. Think of all the possible consequences. Make sure that when you're asking for anything, that you leave nothing up to the interpretation of the powers that be. Okay? Sometimes they have a sense of humor, and it ain't real funny for us. Okay? So let's not do any of that. Please, okay? Think things through. Think of all the possible consequences, okay? And you'll do a whole lot better with your spell work. Remember, and it harm none is very, very important in spell work, okay? Now, I already did a video on hex or not. We all know it's not okay to hex. Not even going to go there anymore. But you have things like reversibles. So I'm going to send back this energy, okay? You sent something to me, I'm going to send it back. Well, all you did is give them more energy, and now they're going to send it back. And before long, you're playing tennis, ping pong, whatever you want to call it, going back and forth, until everybody's just kind of exhausted. It's okay. If you want to send it back one time. If they keep doing stuff, it's time to do something a little bit different, okay? Because otherwise it's just a energy exchange, and it just gets old, okay? No need having witch wars. Spell breakers, hex breaker, whatever, great thing. If you're doing something to me, or I feel like you're doing something to me, one, yeah, I'm going to invoke karma. But maybe I'm not sure. So I may burn a spell breaker, or I'll have you burn one if you come to my store. How that candle burns will let me know whether there is a spell, whether it broke through it, or if something more needs to be done. Okay? So spell breakers, hex breakers, those are great tools to make sure if somebody did something, or if it's in your backyard. Okay? Is it some of your own garbage that you've stirred up and caused? Okay? So those are great things to do, just simply because you're doing it on yourself, removing whatever stuff has been put on you. All right? Road openers. Road opener, blockbuster, similar type thing. Okay? Blockbuster says there's a block here, I want to blow that up. Road opener says my road is open. There is no block. It's all open. Okay? So it's kind of like glass half empty, half full. Either of those. So those are safe for the most part. Okay? For the most part. Because in that block that you feel like is there, what if that block is your spouse? What if it's your child? What if it's your parent? What if it's anybody within your space that you don't want gone? Okay? But you're doing something to remove whatever is blocking you from getting from point A to point B. All right? Once again, and it harm none. All right? Think these spells through before you do them. And please, 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 quit doing crap that you see on social media. Just BS stuff that they put out there is crazy. Okay? There's so much of that stuff that somebody came up with that's an influencer and put it out there, and everybody goes, oh, well, this is the way to do it. Now let me do it, and let me make a video, and then somebody else sees that, and it's just this never-ending pile of garbage. Okay? How many of you have played the game I've Got a Secret? Okay? For those of you that don't know what it is, all right, so I have a little saying. I whisper it to this one, they whisper it, and it keeps going around the room until the last person has to repeat what was said. Half the time, there's not even any of the original words left to it. All right, so think about this as people do these spells over and over and over, and putting their own little spin in it and changing it and whatever. And half the time, the first thing really wasn't much anyway. All right, so before you start doing these things, think about it. Okay, please think things through. You have a head, you've got a brain, use it. All right. I know I may sound like I'm fussing at you. I'm not. I'm trying to give you information, but I'm trying to also get you to listen because I'm trying to save you from all the crap that's out there. All right. Trying to save you from making all these dumb mistakes. All right. So that you don't have to try to figure out how to fix it or what went wrong, what's going on. I don't want you having to do all that. So let's get it together, okay? All right, so let me think. Is there any other type of main spell that you may need? Let's talk about a shut up, okay? Shut up spell. You can't use a shut up just because you don't like somebody or don't like how they talk or whatever. If they're saying things about you that are bad and untrue, okay, let's go there. Untrue. They just don't like you, so they're, making up a bunch of crap, saying things about you, then yes, you have a right to shut them up about you, okay? You can't freeze their tongue. You can't do any of these other things generalized. It has to be that you cannot say anything bad about me. Okay? Now, if they're telling the truth out there, you just got to put on your big girl panties and suck it up. Okay? It just is. All right? Maybe you shouldn't have done what you did. Think about that. But there are situations that it's okay to use. All right? But you got to think it through too, because if you're binding up their mouth, their tongue, all right, any type of binding on someone, you're responsible for them to a degree. If you just bind their mouth, then, they could, something happen, they get all their teeth knocked out, and they got to have their mouth wired shut. Okay, now that has caused harm, and now it's your karma when you were just trying to stop them from doing something, okay? Sometimes it's better just to invoke karma. Let them get it back. Be done. Go on, okay? So many things can be handled with just invoking karma. All right, so let's be careful on these types of things. Control candles. If you're going to burn a control candle, burn it on yourself, not somebody else, okay? The only way of doing it somebody else, say, you've got a child that's grown, a spouse or somebody, maybe that are using drugs or alcoholic or something like that. You can use a control candle or control spell asking for them to find the self-control to stop XYZ. Okay? That's all you can do. Don't try to control them. You don't have that right. You can ask that they find the self-control. It's still up to them because they have free will just like you do. Okay? So be careful with those kinds of things. All right? We're not the puppeteer of people. So don't try to be the puppeteer and make people do just what you want. Sometimes there's a just cause. Most of the time it's just you being selfish of what you want. Okay? Granted, drugs, alcohol, things like that, yes, people need help. Ask that they find the self-control. Okay? So there's a lot of different things. There's so many types of candles and so many kinds of spells and everything out there. Okay? They all have their purpose, and they're all okay. They're okay to do from time to time. But use your head. Think about it. Ask yourself, one, would I want this done to me? Okay? If your answer is no, then that means don't do it. 2, is there a just cause for doing this spell? 3, have I worded everything appropriately? Am I sure that no harm is going to come to anybody intentionally for this? Okay? It's kind of like the thing I told you about before about the job. We both apply for a job. I work a spell to help me get it because I need to feed my family. I get the job. You didn't. Does it technically hurt you? Technically, yes. Wasn't my intent. Okay? Same token is same scenario, except I know you and I don't really like you. So I decide that I'm going to work this spell. I'm going to apply for that job so you don't get it. Same work done, different intent. That one is black magic. Okay? Because my intent was to harm. All right? All about intent. Granted, with a money spell, your intent is not somebody dying, you're the beneficiary in their will. But that is called a brass monkey syndrome, and we always have to state, and it harm none. That's how you have the right intent. Okay? If you ever want to know about any type of spell that maybe I didn't talk about here or in one of my other videos, and you want to know some safe ways around it or whatever, that's what that comment section's for. Leave me a comment, ask me, or contact me. Message me on my Charlotte Square Facebook Messenger. Do not use, don't just post it out on the main page. Put it in Messenger, and I'll be happy to respond to you and help you, decipher out the spell and what's the safe way to do it. Or maybe you shouldn't do it at all. I'll be honest with you, and I'll let you know, okay? So either way, contact me, call the store, whatever. I'll help you any way I can, all right? But, like I said, comments are pretty quick. Calling me is great. Whatever you need, I'm here to try to help you, okay? So do whatever it is, but be safe in your spell work. And quit just accepting spells at face value that you find out here in books, on the internet, and social media, whatever, okay? You don't know the background of them. Okay, you don't always know who the true author of these spells are. You don't always know the true intent of that spell. A lot of times they use stupid ingredients that don't even go with it, so do your research. Okay, research your herbs, research everything. Make sure the stuff would even go in there, and then rewrite it. Make it your own. Just, be careful of all the stuff you see out there. People throw out garbage to get views so they can make money. Okay, that's all it is. Yeah, let me throw this out there because everybody wants this type of spell. And then you get all these people watching it and all these people trying it. And then there's nobody there to help them when it goes wrong. Okay? I know this because I get a lot of these people in my store that are in this area. I get them that call me, message me, all kinds of stuff. Trying to get, see if I can help them fix it because they did the crap. All right? So, anyway. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox on that one because I can go on a whole rant tangent for a long time. So, we're going to woo-saw it down. Now, once again, do your spell work, but do your research. Make sure it's right. If you want help knowing if it's right, contact me. When you do, I'm going to need the reason you're doing the spell, where you got the spell, all the ingredients, everything that you're wanting to try to do, and I will look at it, and I will let you know what you might need to tweak or whatever if you like. Okay? My offer to you, no charge. That's just what I do, is I try to help people. Okay? So, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you haven't already, please click the like, subscribe, the bell, and leave me comments. Share the video, please, because so many people need this information. Please, please, please share my videos. And thank you for watching my videos all the way through. It really helps me, because when you don't, YouTube goes, oh, people don't really like our content, and they don't really put it out there for people to find this information that they need, where I'm trying to help. Okay? So, thank you again. Be safe. Be smart. Remember that you are loved and that you're beautiful people, okay? If nothing else, you think nobody out there loves you? I do. Until the next time, blessed be. Bye.